receptors, these tracks. And we keep repeating them and they get deeper and deeper and deeper. So now you have an I'm not important track laid down in your brain. Now that's what's laid down. And now, because your mind always wants to prove you right, you're looking for confirming evidence all day long. You get cut off. I'm not important. You get, turned down for something. I'm not important. Someone accidentally closed the door on you. I'm not important. And you will find evidence, because that's the way it works. That's the way your mind works. So we need to access what those thoughts are, what those beliefs are, so you can do something about it. Does that make sense? It gets worse. Yeah. I'll give you the bad news, but I'll give you good news too. Every thought you have, every one without exception, has a tiny little chemical attached to it. Positive, nurturing, loving thoughts have endorphins, feel-good, opiates, chemicals attached to it that heal. On the other hand, negative, critical, judgmental thoughts have stress hormones attached to it. Every single one. Every single one. It is virtually impossible to be physically healthy with negative thoughts. That's the way that works. Does that, you get that? Do you get how big that is? So when we walk, we just think, it's so easy to think, a physical thing gives a physical result. I stub my toe, it hurts. Makes perfect sense, right? But we don't realize how something mental and emotional creates something physical. But it does. And I do stress testing, so I have the proof. I don't care how good you look on the outside, you could be a train wreck going on the inside, depending on the thoughts you think. It's huge. So imagine plugging up that hole. Imagine how much more energy you'd retain if you took a look at some of your beliefs and behaviors. And by the way, you could change every single one that doesn't serve you. And another one, stress. Just raise your hand if you've ever felt stress, ever. You're lying if your hand's not up. Okay, stress creates aging, weight gain, illness, and disease. In other words, it makes us sick, fat, old, and ugly. Are you with me now? Yeah. And your body's designed to keep you safe, to keep you alive. Like, let's say you're crossing the street, car comes towards you, you ignite what's called a stress response. It's a brilliant response. Because of it, blood and oxygen goes to your heart, lungs, and limbs. You jump the curb to safety. It's what keeps you alive. But with chronic stress, that same system is ignited, but it's not turned off. So that same system that's protecting you over the short term is killing you over the long term. Like, here's an example. Have you ever just scarfed down lunch? You're in a rush and you scarf down lunch. Anybody? Or just me? Yeah, okay. You know that feeling you have? Right? Like bloated and uncomfortable? You may think, well, I swallowed too much air. Or, I just ate too quickly. No, that's not it. Do you know, just when you did that, you told your body it was in crisis. Crisis! So your body, as brilliant as it is, says, oh my gosh, lunch? We got way bigger things to do. We have to save you. And shuts down that system. Completely shuts it down. So the blood and oxygen can go to your heart, lungs, and limbs to save you, and that's why you have that pain. And that's just lunch. Yeah, scary, huh? You've seen this too. Stories, let's say a couple's trying to get pregnant and they're trying, and nothing's working. And, barring some real medical issue, they get all excited. They say, we're going to adopt, and they get all excited about it. What happens? Do you all know the same person? Yeah. What a coincidence, right? Think about it. That's what goes on. Your body's trying to save you. Saying this is not a time for building and repair. It's like putting up, curtains when there's a tornado. It's trying to save you, right? So that's the stress response. So imagine plugging up that hole. Can you see how much more energy you'd retain right there? So over the last 26 years, I've identified about 16